Hello, my name is Randy Saenz and I'm running for mayor for Cuero, Texas. We have a lot of citizens here in Cuero that are suffering right now economically and socially. And a lot of it has to do with that old mentality. Cuero's the good old boy system. Cuero's going to stay the way Cuero's going to stay. I don't believe that. I believe that people have been misled. I believe that people are intimidated by others because if you work at this place, you can't vote for this person because you're afraid of losing your job. That's why I ask you today, and I implore you, use your right to vote. Change this system. Currently on the west side, we have hundreds of people that are living below poverty, hundreds of people that are being economically affected by this oil boom. During my campaign last week, I ran across a woman that was homeless, and she was living out of her vehicle with her child. I asked her what the problem was, and she said she was pushed out because of higher rents. And then I look at what Cuero has. Now everyone's saying that Cuero is going to benefit from this oil boom that we have here. As a business person, as a businessman, I'd like to be realistic about it. They've promised us 20 years. They promised us 10 years. But who are they promising? When we really look at the big picture, how many people are actually having an opportunity with this oil boom today? When I look at the population and I look at the citizens on the west side of town, I see probably 2% of the people that can actually benefit from this oil boom. They're the hotels, they're the restaurants, they're the convenience stores, and they're the landlords. But for the hardworking person today, I don't see them benefiting from it. Now, when we look at a bigger impact, and after speaking with an economic developer, I was told that it's great for Cuero because now we have the oil companies coming in here and they're offering more money, a standard that is going to be set for Cuero. Well, that's great when you're an oil company and you have that kind of money to spend on an employee. But when you're the mom and pop store here in town, and you're barely fighting to make your wages, and now you have to compete. When you're Brentex and you have your standard rate of pay, which employs hundreds of people here in Cuero and has been doing so for many years, and now they're having to compete with the oil industry, they're going to lose workers to it. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is the big picture, it's a good for few, possibly 2% of the population, which are getting the oil rights to all this oil, which are going to be benefiting from it. But as far as the everyday citizen, the man, the woman that have children, that work, that commute to Victoria, Port Lavaca, Yoakum, Goliad, Yorktown, that live here locally, that are being affected by the higher rents, that are being affected by the higher gas, that are being affected by our higher electricity rates. It's not going to benefit you. I'm here and I'm running to make sure that this opportunity is not lost to all. 98% of you want to see a future here in Cuero. 98% of you that this oil boom is not going to positively affect need to know that there's going to be a tomorrow past this oil boom. And I'm here to make sure that happens. I have several plans on my agenda when I become mayor, and one of them is to ensure that we have business opportunities here past the oil boom. 3 years ago, we brought the governor, Rick Perry, to Cuero, Texas. We were supposed to have started a project with a company called SIPCO. Now, with this relationship, we were supposed to have gained several jobs. The governor came down, congratulated the efforts, and I didn't run again for mayor. And I apologize for that. As of today, the project still sits. Has gotten no further than it was when I left. Now, I am disappointed in that. I know the factors causing the delay, and I'm disappointed in them. Now, we talk about the people in Cuero who have always been the powers that be, and yes, they were the ones to delay the process. Now, I ask all of you citizens to think about one thing. Think about your children. Think about the future. Some of the things I'm going to be discussing here in a moment have to do with that. Together we have won this seat with record numbers, and today I'm asking for your support and vote to win this seat once more. The first time we won, I was sent to fix administration problems and start new programs. For instance, fixing infrastructure that had been neglected for many years, and making the city business more accessible to citizens by videotaping the meetings. A lot was accomplished in 2 years. For instance, we removed all the old electrical poles from Mount Vernon Mills and replaced them with new poles because of problems that they had with squirrels and the constant power outages. This affected Mount Vernon Mills in a negative way. They would have to shut down. Their production went low. This was during the time when they were having to make a decision. Which plant are they going to close down? We were very blessed and fortunate that Mount Vernon Mills stayed here in Cuero and continues to employ hundreds of people. Our broken infrastructure was hindering the success of one of Cuero's largest employers. At the time, it was crucial and was a determining factor in keeping the Cuero plant from closing down, which would have affected hundreds of families. The sewer plant was severely outdated and would have caused the city to be shut down if we didn't act fast. We called in engineers, they did their studies, and they agreed we were out of compliance. Out of compliance for a sewer system here in Cuero would have cost the citizens thousands upon thousands of dollars per day in fines and penalties. We changed our engineers and looked for more competitive contracts to save money. We replaced hundreds of broken water meters and gained millions of dollars in lost revenue as a result of those broken water meters. We started a line maintenance program that would make our utility system more economical without the losses of electricity. And I can go on and on. Now, a lot has been changed back to the old ways. Neglect of infrastructure has begun again. And some of the meetings have not been recorded, and they've even been censored. We have to get back in there and set this town back on the right course. This is a critical time. With the oil field activity going on, we need to open up the town up to new businesses and make this town business friendly. We need to help encourage and establish new businesses that will stay here past the oil boom. This is our chance to do this, and the time is short. You see, the current mayor has strived to make this a retirement community, and that's fine. But by itself, it's a dead end for Cuero. And the people of Cuero deserve better. I have the experience in creating and growing companies. We need someone in there that has a willingness to aggressively grow this town. New manufacturing jobs, more retail businesses to attract visitors, and good old-fashioned family entertainment to keep people in town. Many businesses and people are looking to locate here, but many are turned away or discouraged. Another very important subject is affordable housing. 3 years ago, I brought a company out of San Antonio that had predicted what's happening here today. The project made news. I fought and I tried my hardest to bring in over 120 homes that would have been considered affordable. Yet the public was saying they didn't want those kind of houses near them. To this day, it appalls me. We need housing in Cuero. We have people that are homeless. Now, I'm not saying I can fix everything. What I'm saying is that I can address the issues and bring them to the forefront. That's my intention, and that's what I plan to do. People who have lived here all of their lives are being priced out of their homes right now as we speak, and housing prices have gone through the roof. These issues need to be addressed, and fast. This can be done. The next thing is infrastructure. This is so important. The city's money is not prioritized correctly. We need so many roads fixed and old asbestos pipelines replaced. This could have been fixed a long time ago, and I have a solution for that as well. All of this adds up to money not being spent on the everyday citizens of Cuero. You see, most of Cuero does not have a voice on City Council. Furthermore, most of you are not being represented on City Council. 3 of the 7 people on City Council live in District 3 and relatively close to one another. That is the regular District 3 candidates and the 2 at-large candidates. Then you have 2 people that live in District 4. That would be District 4 candidate and the mayor. And then you have District 2, which currently the councilman has missed numerous meetings and is constantly excused by the rest of council. So who's left to represent the rest of the city? Which brings me to my next point and most vital and probably the most important document that Cuero has seen in over 50 years. single-member districts. It's called the Cuero 6-1 plan. We currently have a petition that you can sign to get this changed. It would eliminate the 2 at-large seats and replace them with 2 single-member districts. This way your city council representatives will live in your neighborhood, would be able to see what you're experiencing and what you're having to live through. And then and only then will you have a true voice on council. This will give everyone in Cuero an equal voice and eliminate the consolidation of power by any one group. This is very important for the future of the city of Cuero, and we need your help and support. And most importantly, your vote. We need to get the city back on track and headed in the right direction so that everyone has a chance to benefit in the future of Cuero and not just a fortunate few. We can do this together. But we have to understand one thing. One person versus 6 will get voted out. We're looking at a democracy here. We're looking at a voter system. We practice under Robert's Rules, our parliamentary procedure. And the way the city of Cuero works is this. I could have the best idea in the world, but unless the other 6 people agree with it, they will always vote me out. That's why we took the steps to televise it so that the rest of the community could see, because unfortunately, very few people make it to the meetings. Now, I understand you have to work. I understand you have to provide for your family. That's why January the 9th of 2008, we made it to where it was all the meetings would be recorded, archived, and shown to the citizens so that they would have the opportunity at their dinner table or in their spare time to see exactly what happened at the meetings. But what you must understand is this: unless it changes on council and like-minded people like yourself with the same concerns and interests that you may have, which I hope are creating jobs and housing, are on there, nothing will get accomplished. So I ask you today, please sign the petition, register to vote. You have until the 12th. And I ask you to please vote for me. Thank you very much, and God bless you.